Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Thursday, November 11th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, Billy Briz in the house, ready to break down the three-game NBA card. Before we start, though, I've done this with all the shows I've been doing today. We do want to take a minute to say thank you to the armed forces, the men, the women that serve, make our country free, give us the chance to bitch and whine and have fun on shows like this, talking sports from a betting perspective. Can't do that unless troops stand up for our rights, our freedoms, and try to protect our homelands. So we thank them for their service. And again, for those that have fallen in the past, our condolences. We think of you and prayers for you. And lest we forget, Remembrance Day in Canada, Veterans Day in the United States, always a day to take a moment and pay homage to the men and women that fight for our freedom each and every day and serve our countries for sure. Guys, it's good to be with you again on this November 11th. Great to be with you after a great Wednesday slate, big slate, lots of interesting games last night. How about Wham and I? We're going to have to create a new segment here on the NBA Pub of the Backwoods Best Bets, because we had a couple of backwood games for best bets yesterday. Wham and I, Detroit and Houston. He took Detroit. I went with OKC, New Orleans. I took OKC, and we came out of that 2-0. So. Good stuff. Maybe those bad games, we got to stick with them, Wham. We got something working there.
There it is, bro. We on the same side. When me and Indian on the same side, I love that look, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So crazy night in the NBA last night. Lots of things. The Celtics won. We'll recap the last night since it's a short card. Big win for Boston. Their first home win of the year, if you can believe it. You know, a few weeks into the year, and finally they won a home game. They had trouble doing that. Of course, the Wizards come back to beat the Cavs. A little Kyle Kuzma magic for the Wizards to get past Cleveland 97-94. Brooklyn just absolutely beats down Orlando 123-90. Milwaukee, very impressive. Second straight night, they get a victory against the Knicks 112-100. All of a sudden, a little turmoil in New York, and all of a sudden, Tom Thibodeau goes from the greatest resurgence ever to we can't coach now. So it's amazing how things can change after a kind of a up and down first month of the year to the New York Knicks season so far. Bulls beat the Mavericks by 10. The Hornets 118-108. Pretty impressive win for the Hornets offensively in that victory. Again, OKC, I still don't know why New Orleans was favored by 5 in that game. The Thunder beat them. The Spurs thumping the Kings 136-117. There goes that Luke Walton Sacramento defense again. They can have nights like that. They sure did last night. Couldn't stop anything from the Spurs in that game. Denver 101-98 as the Pacers. All those injuries, no Joker, no problem for Denver. I was worried about Pacers as a road favorite there, and they fall victim. Phoenix, we like the Suns to take care of business against Portland, and they did that, winning by 10. Golden State keeps on rolling. They win by double digits against Minnesota, and the Heat lose Jimmy Butler, and they lose the basketball game to the LA Lakers 121-17 in overtime, and the Heat now 2 losses in a row for the first time this year. Dutch, how was last night for you?
Yeah, real quick. Salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents tuning in. You already know it's all love. Be sure to hit the motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane at Do-si-do. Get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Yesterday, man, yesterday was a tricky day for me. I actually went 2-2 on official plays for me. But the freshest look hit, and Phoenix was a beautiful thing. The Bulls handled their bullshit, their shit. But what surprised me was honestly New York. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've won money with these guys. I've lost money with them. I think they're not as good as they were last year. I will say they've taken a big step back on the defensive end, and it's mainly because your fucking starting point guard is Kemba Walker, and your starting 2 is Evan Fournier. So unless they're shooting 40-50%, 40 plus from the 3-point line, it's not going to be good. I think Thibodeau might need to go back to the books, back to the drawing board, and rethink this starting lineup, because the shit ain't going to work with them too. It's too fucking light. They're not as good as DJ or CJ or Dame and CJ, cats like that with backcourts that don't play no D. So it ain't going to work out when you got guys that are subpar, nowhere near that level, and still don't play no fucking D. Shout out to my guy, Michael Robertson. Yeah, man. Nets bets. I see you in the chat, man. Appreciate every y'all. Y'all share the video right now. Let's hit the motherfucking hundo likes real quick. That's Mando. Yeah, man.
Right, good stuff. Wham, how about last night for you?
Yeah, you didn't mention the Warriors, bro. It was the Andrew Wiggins revenge game. 35 points with a posterized dunk on Cat, bro. Really cool game there to watch there. We did have the Suns as the consensus bet last night. So I did place the Suns, didn't give it out officially. It wasn't that good of a night for me official wise on best because Desmond Bain just laid an egg, and then Dylan Brooks showed his ass up, fucked up the whole chemistry, I believe, for the Grizzlies there. Yeah, but overall, man, we did get that Pistons on the freaking ESPN game. Of course, they're going to show that game, bro. So it was only right. So I love that look there. We got that. But other than that, man, let's get to this card, bro. And my guy Billy here and his Sixers play today. I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Billy, welcome back. What did you think of last night?
Oh, man, last night was a forgettable night, man. I only played one NBA play last night. I got stuck on the Memphis Grizzlies play, and it had me contemplating is Miles Bridges actually a good rapper? That's how I ended out my night. It was such a bad night that it was one of those nights where the West Coast games come up, and you're like, man, fuck sports for the rest of the night. I'm taking my ass to sleep.
Yeah, I could tell you weren't seeing very clearly when you said Miles Bridges can rap. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Billy on some shit.
yeah.
He in the club, he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, ski. Yeah, we have no ski. Skis only on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, no chance for him to gloat about the LA Lakers and their win last night. But kudos to him. He stuck to his guns, and whether it was a homer pick or not, it's a winning pick. That's all.
And I want to say this too. I will never go against my Laker brother again. I fell short to that today. Obviously, Jimmy Butler was the difference, but I'll never do it again, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. The Lakers played their butts off last night. Their asses
Shout out
off.
to Melo,
Give
man,
them
playing
credit.
great ball, man.
Yeah,
Big time,
it was a crazy game actually. The back and forth it went, but Lakers found a way to get the victory. That game changed completely though once Jimmy Butler left the game for Miami. It really made them difficult. And as much as I love Tyler Hero, who had a great game for like 3 3/4 last night, big missed shots in fourth quarter, late in the game, overtime. He threw up a bad three that didn't come close. And, you got to be a big shot maker. You got to be a clutch shot maker, too. It's nice to get the big points and fill it up for most of the game, but a couple of big-time chances he had to make big shots late in the game and in overtime. He didn't make them. That pass by Lowry, unbelievable, and he fumbles it, and then he's a wild three-point shot that wasn't even close. So got to make those clutch ones, too. If you're Tyler Hero. We're going to see if we got some clutch picks for tonight in the NBA. We'll start with Toronto and Philadelphia. Thursday night NBA action. Philadelphia 4-point home favorites here. 211 the total in this game. The money's come in on Philly in this one. Certainly it's a little bit of a rest advantage for Philadelphia. It's the third game in 4 nights for them, but their last game was Tuesday against Milwaukee. They lost 118-109. They lost to the Knicks before that. And still, this team is very much a banged-up mess. I mean, Joel Embiid's not going to be back tonight. Matisse Thybulle's still out. Tobias Harris is still out for this team. Seth Curry sat out the last game with that left foot contusion that he's battling right now, and he may not go as well tonight for the Sixers. So they're still very much short-handed. You got the Raptors on a back-to-back on the road. They got pummeled by the Celtics last night, 104-88. Kind of disappointed in myself that I bet the Raptors just because of the fact that they had embarrassed Boston the first time around, and kind of felt the Celtics had some redemption on their minds. And they certainly played that way last night against the Raptors. I would lean to Toronto the more this line climbs, though. I mean, you're talking +4 now. The Sixers have lost 2 in a row with all of these key players out of the lineup. The Raptors did win and cover the last time they were on a second of back-to-back games this season. So keep that in mind. It was against Indiana on the road. They were at home against Orlando, and then the next night they were in Indiana, and they won that game outright as underdogs. So I think now that the Raptors have no Siakam, but Siakam hasn't found his groove yet completely since he's been back initially from the injury. So, I think they've got other players that can step up in a spot like this. It looks like without Siakam, you're going to end up seeing probably more minutes for a bunch of different guys here. Precious Achiuwa, Chris Boucher. Every time that guy gets a basket, the Raptors TV analyst, Jack Armstrong, goes, bonjour, because he's from Quebec. He's got the, gives him the little bonjour there on the broadcast. But Chris Boucher, you'll see a lot of him here tonight in this game, a lot more. And that might be something I look at because Boucher, it seems when he gets those opportunities, especially with rebounding, he makes the most of them. So I might look at rebounding props for Chris Boucher tonight. I'm looking at the Raptors. I'll probably make it an official bet, but I'm going to wait to see if I can get a better number because it's already gone up a bit. Maybe it goes higher, but even if it stays at 4, I'm probably going to look toward locking in the Raptors here +4 in this one. What do you think here, Dutch? Raptors and Sixers.
You're muted.
My fault. The Dosey don't have me choking. Yeah, like I mentioned this morning on Jimmy's show, this game has me going back and forth with who's in, who's out. Like a lot of fucking questions, obviously from the Sixers mainly. I want to say this is a Raptors spot, but I don't know, man. Something just tells me I don't really want to fade Philly here. I did lock in Van Fleet over 2.5 threes, +120. He's went over this every game in November. All 5 games went over this number. The last 10 games, he's averaging 3.1 threes a game for Toronto. So I look for that to continue. Nothing on that perimeter D from, Philly scares me with that. I believe Thibault's still out. He should be having wide open jumpers all day. Easy three there for my guy Van Fleet. I did want to get on Andre Drummond. I was at the gym. It came out at 15.5 minus. Shout out, Wham Bam hit this motherfucker last I believe it was Tuesday. 14.5, it sounded like a lot, but we knew it was.
It sound like a lot.
I know Billy said. Shout out to my guy Maxwell Smart. Be sure to tune in right after this to see him and my guy C Mac a Mill. You know what I mean? The two Max Mills go at it on the NBA or on the college hoop court. You know what I mean? What is that? 2:00 Eastern or Pacific time.
There you go.
But back to what I was
head fucked up, man.
back to what I was saying. I just feel like Tobias Harris now actually is cleared to play, Ian. So I was
okay.
He's cleared to play. It was 15.5 minus 105 back to Andre Drummond. My bad, I lost train of thought. It was 15.5 minus 105. It's 15.5 minus 130 now. So we're not gonna, I might leave that to Billy. He likes those high numbers. I'm not gonna give out the 130, but I will do. I was taking a look at Tobias Harris. Maybe it's only 7.5 rebounds, minus 110. The one thing that I'm hesitant on is to see if he's gonna have a minute restriction. But protocol, this COVID shit. I heard it was a rough one for him. But come back out there and get 8 rebounds shouldn't be that hard. Drummond still should get over that number, but I want to lay to 130. But when we talk about Toronto, they got Precious as their 6'9" starting center. They just gave up double-digit rebounds to Jason Tatum and Robert Williams in one game. They gave up double-digit rebounds to fucking James Harden and Blake Griffin, and then they let my guy fucking Jared Allen go 16 and 15, which we eat off him, so we was happy to see that. But pretty much, I expect a lot of rebounds to be had here. And I might go ahead and make that Tobias Harris official over 7.5. I just want to see exactly how many minutes we're going to get out of him.
All right, looking at we'll see if Harris is in. Definitely, I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. He's definitely back and in the lineup, in the starting 5 tonight for Doc Rivers and the Philadelphia 76ers. I like Barnes over 14.5 points for the Raptors. He's been scoring. He's been getting 14 or more in a lot of games lately. He had 21 last night, and Nick Nurse has been on his ass to shoot the ball more and be more of a difference maker offensively. Like, we know he's great defensively, rebounding, but look for his shot more. He's been doing that. The volume of attempts has gone up lately for Scotty. So I might look over 14.5 points for him in this game. What do you think here, Wham? Raptors, Sixers.
Yeah, perfect segue for me. That's the way I already bet. I'm taking Scotty Barnes over 14.5 points. I think he does get that uptick in points. He's averaging 17 points over the last 5 games. We've seen him being able to do it. You can get this number at FanDuel over 14.5 points at minus 122. I agree with Dutch, though, man. It does kind of seem kind of a little tricky. They didn't move the number at all for Drummond when they adding 7.5 rebounds to Tobias Harris. So I don't want to come out here and give that out because I did bet it already. I did bet it at minus 124 earlier last night. So I'm kind of sketch here. I'm kind of sketch here on this game. Other than Scotty Barnes, probably would be the only official play that I make on this game as far as public wise. But I did bet the Drummond over 15.5 rebounds as well.
All right, Billy knows these Sixers well. What is he like here tonight?
Yeah, man, we're going to see finally Tobias making his return, man. Finally, we need some Tobias in our lives because it's getting real rough with the 8-man rotation we previously have been stunting out there. But there's still going to be injuries. Isaiah Joe, Grant Riddler, and Matthias Thybulle are all going to be out. The big questionable tonight is going to be Seth Curry. He's still listed as questionable for tonight. But I think there's some value in the prop market here in this game. I actually want to start off with the Toronto side. Currently, right now, Gary Trent, he's been seeing mid to high 30s in minutes, man. And shockingly, this threw me off today when I was doing my NBA projections for FanDuel today. He leads the league in steals right now. So I played his over 1.5 steals and blocks combined at -140. Thought there was a lot of value on that. I know it's a little juicy to some, but man, dude, he currently leads the league in steals against the Sixers. That seems like a very reasonable prop tonight. And then I also took Tyrese Maxey over 1.5 3-pointers at +124 on FanDuel. Plus money on Maxey. Maxey's been the hottest Sixer right now. 4 3-pointers in his last game and 3 in the previous one. He's been the one stepping up without Embiid on the floor and without Ben Simmons this whole entire year. I expect a lot of the same tonight. That's my favorite plus money prop on the board tonight.
All right, there we go. I like that. It makes sense. And you're right, Trent, you're getting good prop numbers there with those steals and blocks. For a guy that's actually been getting the job done in both categories lately. So good find there with Gary Trent Jr. on that.
Man, Babano, they posted a prop today, and I'm actually contemplating about smoking weed from now on because I literally just got done smoking and I was in Discord and I was looking at, the props for today and all that. And they put Sevi Mikhailiuk at 2.5 points at -105. And I was like, wait, what? Sevi Mikhailiuk at 2.5 points. And then I reloaded the thing to sign in to bet it, and it moved to 7.5 at -130. If you want to get greasy tonight, Sevi Mikhailiuk could be a guy potentially in the 3-point prop market that could go over tonight. He's played about 20 minutes without Siakam on the floor, and he's had double-digit scoring in 4 out of his last 9 games. So, Sevi's been used, man.
I agree. I think I remember I had a Svi Mikhailiuk prop last week over the total in one of the games. So no doubt he's getting more opportunity and going to have to shoot more now with Siakam out again. So definitely going to get those shot volume numbers probably increased. Indiana, Utah. We've got Utah 10.5 point home favorites here, 215. The total in this one, total's been bet down. The Pacers coming off a frustrating loss to the Nuggets. 101-98 last night. It's the second night of back-to-back games for them. The Utah Jazz returned home from a 3-game road trip. They beat down the Atlanta Hawks 110-98 on Tuesday night. I think we liked Utah, most of us, in that game. We certainly weren't going to make a case for Atlanta on the road where they've been so bad this year, and the Jazz took care of business in that game. We'll have to see how this one goes, but definitely the Pacers still without Karis LeVert, who hasn't played all year. But other than that, they had Brogdon last game against the Denver Nuggets. He had 25 points in that game. Didn't show any signs of still battling the injury that he was dealing with before that. So he looked a lot better, a lot healthier on the floor. We'll see how the Pacers do in this game tonight, taking on Utah. The Jazz, again, at home, continue to play, for the most part, pretty good, although they haven't covered every game this year at home. They've still played a pretty good ball here on their home floor. They're laying a big number here, though, 9 up to 10.5, and a lot of money's coming in on Utah. Don't really have a strong opinion on this particular game, but the more the total drops, the more I might look at going over the total in this game. So that's the one I'm thinking about, and I might pull the trigger, especially after the 4-point downward move, that I might go 215 over the total in this game with the Pacers and the Jazz. Dutch, what do you like here? Indiana, Utah.
Yeah, shout out to Real Deal Prime. Vitalis liking the Pacers, 10.5. Shout out to our guy, Brandon. I'm not even going to kill your last name, my guy. Aaron, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This game, I'm right with Vitalis. I'd have to lean Pacers full game, but I like the Pacers first half, to be honest with you. I touched on it this morning. These two teams did play last year. Utah won by 8 both games, but the Pacers actually were up in one game and tied both in the first half. So, they covered both of the first halves. They are 3-2 ATS in their last 5 games in the first half, but it's more of a Utah starting out slow. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5. I think the Pacers gave away a game last night that they should have won. They had chances to win that game against Denver without Joker on the court. I think we'll get a solid performance from Indiana early. Sabonis had a solid game last night. Only attempted one free throw. Let's look for him to be a little more aggressive. Our guy, off the bench, McConnell's been playing fucking lights out. He's been averaging 17 points on this road trip. Had 16 off the bench, even with Brogdon back. He's back with the strep throat. He'll play. I don't think LeVert will be in. But I look for the Pacers to be in this game tonight. Full game, Utah eventually. They're just a better team. And obviously the Pacers being on a back-to-back, they'll pull away and probably win this game. But +6 is what I grabbed it at earlier today. I really like that look with the Pacers first half.
And a lot of times the second night of back-to-back, if you're going to take the team as an underdog on the second night of back-to-back games, it's often good to bet them first half instead. But especially here because they're playing in the thin air altitude here of Utah, and they were playing in the thin air altitude of Denver, the previous game. So, all of a sudden, that's back-to-back games in the thin air, high altitude, Denver, and now Utah. So a lot of times in normal circumstances, second half, you lose your shooting legs a little bit, second and back-to-back, even more so when you're in that elevation like the Pacers are, Denver last night, Utah tonight. So that might be even more reason where if you like the Pacers, definitely put most of the bet or at least half the bet, if not all the bet on the first half instead of the full game, just in case they run out of steam, run out of gas in the second half of this game. Definitely something to keep in mind in this one. And the Pacers have been competitive here in a lot of recent games. But I know this is going to be something that really is going to make Dutch very happy when I say this. That Trae Young was held scoreless in the fourth quarter the other night against the Utah Jazz. They put the clamp down on him defensively.
Yeah, shut down that little motherfucker, man. They don't call them pussy ass fouls no more. You see, they all having trouble. Even Dave talking about, oh, this shit ain't acceptable, man. Shut your little ass up. And Dave, my top player, but I don't know, man. He's dropping quickly, bro.
Fourth quarters are officiated differently, especially if the game is in the balance. They're going to let some things go, and you got to play through that, and you got to make it through that. And Trae Young obviously struggled with that the other night. Zilch, no points.
That's basketball, though, bro. Like anywhere you play, that's fucking basketball. So it's good that we're seeing this.
Yeah, it's no points for him in the fourth quarter against Utah the other night for the Atlanta Hawks. So I know the big president of the Trae Young fan club, Dutch, would enjoy me saying that right there.
Hey, man, the guy's skilled, but he ain't nowhere near Luka and all these guys that we compare him to. That's when I draw the fucking line.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that he hates Trae. It's just he doesn't like the comparisons to some of the best PGs in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Wham, what do you think here? Indiana and Utah. You're muted now.
Pull the Dutchie.
Well, passed it out. I passed the mute button there. So I do agree with you guys. I believe that the Indiana maybe a little overreaction here with it being 11 now. You're seeing 11s out there. Got to be able to take Indiana in this spot. I think it's just a favorable spot for them. They don't even have to win the game. They just don't have to get blown out. Just keep it close. I do like Dutch's first half look. That's probably the way I would bet this. I was labeling this a backwood just because it was such a long spread. But the more that I think about this, the more I cap this game. Indiana does pretty well at guarding the three. They're allowing only 11 threes, 3-point makes a game over the last 5 games. We know how much threes these guys shoot for Utah. They're shooting about 41, number 3 in the 3-point attempts so far for this year. It's only because other teams are starting to pick up, but they would have been number 1 last year because they shoot so many fucking threes here. So I think that they may be able to guard the 3, and I would give the favorable matchup, even though Rudy Gobert is some of a paint beast down there. I still think that you could get your way down there with Sabonis as far as skill, footwork. I think he should be able to get some buckets down low. So I do like Indiana here. This is a play that I haven't made yet, but I think I will go ahead and tell my guy Dutch on this first half. It's at 6.5. I think that's too many points, man.
All right,
real quick, T Nice, bro. Never no hate, bro. And if your argument starts with an if, man, I automatically won, motherfucker. Automatically. You know what I'm saying?
If
that's all I got to say. No hate, never that.
No.
Trae Young is a fucking he's a stud, but he ain't there's levels to this motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. If he's 6'6", come on, bro.
But he isn't, though, and we got to deal with what he is, and that's the
If
problem when you're analyzing and evaluating these players. Like I always say about ifs, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. That's that old saying. It's exactly true. That's one of my favorite old school, old time sayings if I've ever heard one. Billy, what do you like here?
Man, this one's a tough one for me, man, because it's like, back in the day in college, when it would come to around Thursday night, it used to be Titty Thursday. Thursday's the start of the weekend. You do things you're not supposed to do. And on tonight's NBA card, I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to do. And man, 10.5 points just feels like you catch me with another 10 on the Pacers, and you give me plus 20 in a parlay. I'm going to have to take it. And I actually did put my money on this one, plus 18.5. That's my second leg of my plus money parlay, I should say, or even odd parlay. But, plus the points on this one. I don't know if they cover the 10, but damn if they don't cover the 18.5, man. I really might not fuck with the Pacers ever again. But from a daily fantasy perspective, I got a special place in my heart for Donovan Mitchell. He won me some money on Monday. And you know what? I think I might go back to the well tonight. I think without Karis LeVert in this game, I think that really benefits Malcolm Brogdon and Domantas Sabonis. Both of their usage ratings jump off the roof. Maybe some Chris Duarte action. If you cash a couple props in the first game of the night, you may be able to slide on with him without Karis LeVert being on the floor. But overall, not a game that I really want to fuck around with in the prop market. Not really a game that I really want to have a lot of fantasy interest. I think the late night hammer tonight is the game that you want to attack.
And that is the next game. Miami Heat, LA Clippers. We've got the Clippers.
I said when it is things that we used to do in college. It was called Titty Thursday, the start of the weekend. Doing things you're not supposed to do preluded the story of that I did shit that I wasn't supposed to do.
I didn't hear none of that shit. All I heard was plus 18. I was like, wait a minute, bro.
Yeah, man.
I do shit I'm not supposed to do every fucking day of my life, and I'm still not teasing no motherfucking NBA.
You're doing things you're not supposed to do. And the way Hollywood's about to cash for us tonight, man, the NBA shit's just some side money that we're going to cash on tonight. This is the stripper money for the weekend.
All right.
You're trying to make the stripper bank account money.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, we got Heat. I lost my spot there. There we go. Heat and Clippers. Clippers 5-point favorites, 211 the total in this one. I'm going to let them bet the Clippers. Keep on betting it. Keep on betting it. Keep on betting it. At some point, I'm going to take Miami because, look, I know Butler's out. I get it. And they suffered without him last night against the Lakers. But now they know he's out. Now they can plan for him being out. They can adjust the lineup. Nobody's better at that. Few are better at that than Eric Spoelstra. Finding a rotation that works here tonight. Looks like we're looking at Lowry, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, PJ Tucker, and Bam as the projected starting five. So that's pretty much the difference is putting Hero now into the starting lineup tonight. Look, I get it. The Clippers are in good form. They've bounced back. They've won 5 in a row, 4-1 against the spread in those games. Can I see them beat somebody good first? Is that all right before I'm ready to lay 5 against Miami tonight? I mean, they beat OKC. They beat Minnesota twice. They beat Charlotte, and Portland's the one okay win. And even then, they were just an 8-point victory in that game. I got to see it from the Clippers against somebody better. I know the Heat have had a tough week. They lose in Denver, the tough overtime loss, and maybe they're a little bit tired. But again, they don't have to travel. So while this is back-to-back, they're still at Staples Center, same building they were in last night. They don't have to fly to a new city. They're stay in the same hotel. They don't have to go anywhere. They just got to go to the same spot that they were playing in last night. So we'll see. We'll let the line trickle up. By the way, there's no Marcus Morris tonight still for the LA Clippers. And, of course, Kawhi has been out all year, and you're still not going to see him anytime soon. So, yeah, you're concerned about the back-to-back, the minutes in the overtime game. But I've seen these situations in the NBA where it just looks so easy to take the rested team that's won 5 in a row, but now we're laying 5 with a Clippers team that during this 5-game streak, like I said, where's the victory against anybody that's halfway decent or good? Haven't seen it right now from this Clippers team. So I'm just going to let them bet it, and I'll take Miami at the best number I can get. What do you like here, Dutch? Heat, Clippers?
Yeah, shout out to Eric Jones, Star Trout. I see you, bro. Alfonso, Heat role players, legs tired. Played a lot of minutes, and that's exactly right. Alfonso, that's exactly right, bro. Tyler Hero, 42 minutes. Fucking Kyle Lowry, 46. Kyle Lowry played 46 fucking minutes last night, and they don't got their
That's
dog.
right.
They don't got the motherfucking Jimmy Butler out there. I don't know here, Bobano. This to me is a clear Clipper spot, boss. I liked it at 3.5. Love it at 4. It's going up, I guess, but the Clippers are gonna handle business tonight. The Heat, they're top heavy. They really are. And you're right about the Clippers. Who have they beat? But this is a spot where I'm a fan of the Heat. I like them, but they're getting the Heat in a beautiful spot. They really are. I mean, playing all those minutes last night in a tough, competitive game, and now no Jimmy Butler. I mean, the bench is now you got Tyler Hero probably coming into the starting lineup. You got Duncan and Tyler Hero on the court for multiple times. That's defensive liability. That screams, they're going to be able to do what the fuck they want on the offensive end. They being Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Batum's coming around shooting them threes. So I just and honestly, Miami hasn't been great on the road. They're 3-3 straight up, and ATS on the road this year. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, and they're 0-5 ATS in their last 5 meetings versus the Clippers. This is just really a spot play too. I mean, the Clippers are getting them. Even if Butler was on the court, I would believe this would still be a Clipper spot. They're 4-0 ATS in their last 4. 4-0 ATS in their last 4 as a favorite. They've won 5 straight. They're playing good fucking basketball. They're going to win this game by double digits. The Miami's legs will get to them by mid-third quarter, and they'll be up by 15 come fourth.
Yeah, depth is a concern. And in terms of, you're right, quality bench depth, it's not the greatest for Miami. And that's what's going to happen when you're a team that, really adds a lot of, top-heavy players in the offseason to contend for a championship. And you're seeing that a little bit with Miami. So, yeah, there's no doubt that's a concern to me. But I'm still pumping the brakes on laying the points with the Clippers. But I understand it. It is their spot. They're rested. It's the Heat played a grueling, and that was a tough back-and-forth emotional overtime game last night. So there's definitely a case to be made that the Heat fall flat tonight physically. We'll see if that's the case on the floor. Wham, what about you here? Heat Clippers.
Yeah, man. For me, make sure I'm not muted. I'm not. Okay, great. For me, it's just obviously Clippers spot. I got on them at 3.5, man. I wish I would have got the 2.5 or people did overnight, but it's totally fine here. I still think that you can still find some value here, and the props here is just going to be possibly a blowout scenario. I don't think the Heat are going to be able to compete in this game. I would say the 5 is even cool for me as far as giving it out publicly. I think that's okay as well. In this spot, though, I think the line just changed a little bit, but I did see Paul George at 31.5 points. I don't see nobody being able to stop him, man. I think he could get over that 31. It's a big number. You want to see that 28 because he's averaging 28.5 over the last 6 games, but I think he could get to 35, 32 in this game. So I didn't play it yet, but that's the way I'm looking. I think this is a clear Clipper spot here, just based off of what you've seen without Jimmy Butler in the lineup. It just seemed like their offense just got keyed in on, and the Lakers aren't really known to play that great of defense there. They were hitting some lucky shots too. Like Tyler Hero was hitting a lot of fadeaways, bro. You know what I mean? To get shit off. And if he's doing that in this game, I think it's going to be a tough night for them. We do know that the Clippers have all these different angles that they could throw at these guys, all these different bodies that's going to be available. I just think the Clippers just smash here.
The total is 211. Someone asking about the total. Miami's gone over in 3 straight. And again, their defense has fallen off, and the defense doesn't get better when Jimmy Butler's not on the floor. So, and we've seen the Clippers go over in 2 straight. So I would lean over a little bit. It's 211. It's gone down from 214.5. So
yeah, kind of like the Clippers team total over, to be honest with you. Here,
I'll take that back. My apologies, guys. I was looking at alternate numbers there with the 31. Paul George is 26.5. That's definitely probably going to be an official play for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like plus, right around there, 26. That's good money.
But
a blowout scares me a little bit.
The game has to stay close for that to hit.
Yeah, that's the only reason no props here. Blowout.
Yeah, also, no doubt about that. I think Miami can score, though. Lowry, Hero, Robinson, Tucker, and Bam is definitely an offensive-minded lineup. There's some defensive liabilities in that lineup, but that's a good offensive lineup, good enough. So, yeah, to answer your question, Starchild, you had the question. Yeah, I lean over now that it's down to 211. Don't know if I'll get there, but it would be the way I would go with the total in this game. Billy, how about you? What do you like?
Yeah, man. Let me clear something up in the chat, man. It's not called teasers. It's called all line leg parlays. Why? You think I'm just clicking 3 fucking teams on the NBA slate, just grabbing 7 points and just saying, all right, this is what we're rocking with today? Nah, there's some strategy that goes behind it a little bit. With that being said, the first 2 legs cash tonight. You know what the third leg's about to be. Clipper Nation, man. Like Dutch said, head-to-head wise, let's not even bring Jimmy Butler into the situation here. Go head-to-head and you look at the last 5 matchups, Heat versus the Clippers.
Killing.
February last year, 125-18, Clippers W. January last year, 109-105, Clippers W. February the year before in 2020, 128-111, W. 122-117 in January last year, W. 2019, 111-99, W. Clippers spot all day here. And then on top of that, you get Miami on the second half of back-to-back. I love me some Tyler Hero, but I don't even think Jack Harlow is going to be able to save his ass tonight because that boy might go cold up there in the mountains, man, because it's going to get real cold out there in LA tonight. I heard it gets cold in the nighttime over there. They might not be in the mountains, but he's going to be shooting a lot of bricks tonight because I think he's going to get locked up by Paul George and the rest of the defenders that the Clippers have. And if Tyler Hero doesn't go for 35 or 30 plus, it's going to be a long, 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 long night for Miami, man.
Yeah, 4-0 straight up in ATS, the last 4 head-to-head meetings for the Clippers, and all 4 have gone over. 239, 239, 214, and 243 total points.
I will say, though, Kawhi was in some of those games. Remember you betting over with PJ Tucker and Nicholas Batum in both starting lineups, so always bet with precaution.
Yeah.
Batum's been stroking him, man. He got a little defense in him,
bro,
too.
But still, bro, bet with precaution, bro.
Yeah. So I'm leaning over 211, probably actually more so now with this Heat and Clippers game. But again, not a strong opinion. I've got one game that's kind of more worthy of best bet for me, which we'll get to in a second, and that's about it. It's a pretty light card for me tonight, but we'll make up for that tomorrow on the show. Before we wrap up with best bets and freshest look, Thursday night football, I'd lean over in the game, but I don't want to lay 7.5. If you can do a same game, a same game 2-team 6-point teaser, Baltimore minus 1.5, tease to over 40.5. I like that. 6-point teaser, the side and the total. I think Baltimore wins the game, but I don't want to lay 7.5. And you get the total down to 40.5 to the over. So that's the way I would go. I have a small same game teaser on this Ravens-Dolphins game. Dutch, did you have anything on the Thursday night NFL game?
Yeah, I do. I got the Ravens. I like them full game. 7. I just think Dolphins are a fade here. This is the first time they won in 7 motherfucking weeks. Short week. They didn't want to see the field till Wednesday. They got to go and practice on Monday. These boys ain't gonna be ready for the Ravens tonight. I think it'll be, early and often. But I'll go ahead and lay the 7.5 full game. The Dolphins are 1-3 ATS at home. 1-4-1. ATS in their last 6. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know what people see in the Dolphins that would make you want to bet them. That's all I got to say about that. I like Mark Andrews as well. He's been smashing.
Yep.
I gave out all the stats early this morning, but he's been going over everything. I'm betting receptions over 4.5 plus 125. I got over 49.5 receiving yards at minus 115. He'll probably get in the end zone too, but I'll stay off the touchdowns. But I look for Mark Andrews to just continue to eat tonight against a very suspect all-around team, but as well as a defense.
Yeah, and they're 4th worst against the tight end on defense.
Yeah.
The Dolphins as well.
Yeah.
So there's another great matchup for Mark Andrews. I agree. Over receiving yards, over reception. I got him to bet to score a touchdown as well. I took all of those. It's all Mark Andrews tonight. Props for me for the most part of this game. So I'm with you on that for sure. In terms of this game. As far as the college game, I like the over and Pitt minus 6.5 and the over. Small bets. I'm worried about the over though, to somewhat Starchild, because rain, potential wind tonight in Pitt for that game. So could be a little bit messy, the weather for that game. But I like Pitt. As long as you lay less than a touchdown, I like Pitt, and I lean to the over. Small bets in that game with Pitt and North Carolina. Wham, did you like anything in football?
Yeah, I like the props there, like you guys said, for the Ravens, man. I think they're going to air it out. I do know our guy, Ski Prophet, he likes the over and the receiving passing yards for Lamar. I like the Rashad Bateman, man, to have 40-plus yards at plus money at plus 122. I think this receiving team, this defense, the secondary for the Dolphins just dead last, right? They're the bottom tier of the NFL. let's just take advantage of that. I think Lamar goes off, and his receivers should eat here. I like Mark Andrews as well. I kind of missed it, and I got the 50.5 over receiving yards, so I did place that bet. But my number one bet for this game is Rashad Bateman over 40+ yards. So he could get 40, and then we cash at plus 120.
There you go. All right, Billy, anything for football?
Oh, man, we're going to have to get serious. Let me sit up for this one. Let me look inside the camera and tell you about a man from Hollywood, Florida. His name is Hollywood Brown. They don't call him Hollywood Brown because he's from Hollywood. Yes, they call him Hollywood Brown because he is from fucking Florida. Tonight is Hollywood Brown homecoming.
Close to home,
game.
yep.
Over 56.5 receiving yards is good, up to 65 receiving yards. And I have his anytime touchdown at plus 125 tonight. He's scored in every primetime game he's ever fucking played in. It's not going to change tonight. My man is at the crib. In his one game that he's played against the Miami Dolphins was his rookie debut. For the people that don't remember, in Hollywood's rookie debut, he missed the whole entire preseason, fell back in the draft because of a hamstring injury, and he didn't practice the whole entire preseason, didn't play a game in the preseason. In his debut against the Dolphins, his only game in his home state, 4 catches, 147 receiving yards, and 2 fucking touchdowns. I'm telling you, Hollywood Brown is going to go off tonight. It's Hollywood season, homecoming revenge game. Sit back, watch your money cash. But if you want to talk about other plays on the board for me tonight, I went low, fishy in the prop market. BetMGM was fucking around and fucked up. Plus 140, anytime touchdown, Lamar Jackson. They also have Rashad Bateman, anytime touchdown at plus 350. And my boy Sammy Watkins making his return tonight at plus 450. And FanDuel, y'all motherfuckers fucked up too. Jalen Waddle, plus 200, anytime touchdown. 4 games without Waddle. Waddle's been snapping without Parker and Fuller in the lineup. He's had 9 targets, 6.8 catches, 66.8 receiving yards, and averaging a half a touchdown per game. He's going to smash tonight. Him and Gesicki have 40.5% of their target share on the Dolphins tonight. So, those are my plays tonight. And shouts to my boy, Al Hector at Parlay Poser. I like to call him the $250,000 winner because I ain't never seen a motherfucker win so much money on one night than Hector. And Hector, I'm in the car. I hopped up on his degeneracy prop tonight. He went 3 units deep on Smythe, the backup tight end for the Dolphins, because Gesicki's really lining up as a wide receiver. He's lined up more as a wide receiver on the outside this year than Chris Godwin on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's how many times Mike Gesicki's really lining up out wide. So it kind of builds well for Smythe, and he bet his over 10.5 receiving yards at minus 110. I hopped up in the car with that one and bet his over 1.5 catches at plus 140. He's averaging 10 yards per attempt for a catch. So if he catches 2 balls tonight, he gets about 25 receiving yards, and we cash out in the first half.
All right, good stuff. A lot of good props there. And Waddle, yes, he's definitely had the receptions, but liking him to get into the end zone here tonight. It looks like it's probably going to be Brissett. I mean, they're waiting until right before game time to officially rule Tua Tagovailoa out, but I don't think he's going to play. If I had to put my best guess on it, I think it's probably going to be Jacoby Brissett again for the Dolphins at quarterback in this game.
It's well for our props for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's been kind of disappointed with the way he's played for Miami so far, but Baltimore.
I'm fine with it, Babano. I don't care about if you're good or not. As long as we know who the fuck you're throwing the ball to and you throw it to the same exact people, I'm going to make money off of you. Shout out to my boy Mike White.
Yeah, exactly. Mike White, we'll see him back for the Jets, by the way, on Sunday in that game against the Buffalo Bills.
Mike White.
Yeah,
Mike White.
Hey, he's played well, and he was
his
actually
thing
playing
out
well
there,
in the Colts game last week till he got hurt, and then that's kind of when things got away from the New York Jets. But great stuff with Trot, with Billy, and with Dutch here on the NBA Pub Up. We'll get to best bets and Dutch's freshest look in just a second. 168 live viewers. Hit the like button. We've got Net Profit College Basketball Show, Connor and Max coming up right after us. But first, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any product on the website. Get 20% off using the promo code PubSports. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. We got it all going right now. NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, CFL, UFC, MMA, you name it. Everything's going on right now. Great month of the year, November. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, best bet time for this Thursday card, or the best of a small group of games, at least the best we've got. We'll start with you, Dutch. Freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to La La Land. In the Heat, they'll be MIA, man. Clip that ass. Believe that. -4, -5, whatever you can get it at double-digit win. That's good money.
There you go, Dutch. Freshest look. A different kind of MIA for Miami tonight against the LA Clippers. -5 to get it done against the Heat. Freshest look for Dutch. Wham, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, I'm taking mine back to the 6 here. We're going to go to the Scotty Barnes over 14.5 points, averaging 17 points without Siakam in the lineup. He should go up here. We should get some production from him, so I do expect him to get putbacks and get plays called for him. Scotty Barnes, 14.5 points.
There it is, Scotty Barnes over 14.5 points, and I like that. I bet it as well. It's not my best bet, but I like it. Scotty Barnes over 14.5 points for Wham with his best bet. Billy Briz, best bet.
Man, make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Getting Bills. You won't see me on the show till next Tuesday. We're going back to the Fight Islands, man. Back to betting MMA, but first, let me make this NBA cash best bet tonight. It's going to be Tyrese Maxey over 1.5 3-pointers at +124 at FanDuel. Best market price for that prop.
There you go, Tyrese Maxey plus price over 1.5 made threes for the Philadelphia 76ers. Best bet for Billy Briz for this Thursday card. And my best bet, again, I hate this NBA card, but we got to give you something. I'm going to give you Toronto +4 against Philly. I just think, back-to-back, they've been good on the road. That was the first time this year they didn't cover on the road last night against Boston. It does worry me, the fact that they're on the back-to-back on the road. They got whipped by Boston. They've not been good on the glass the last few games, but we'll see if Nick Nurse can make these adjustments here. Second night of back-to-back, they won outright as a dog the last time they were in this spot on the second night of back-to-back. So I'll take a shot here. Toronto +4 against Philly for my best bet for this Thursday NBA card. And that'll wrap it up for this edition of the NBA Pub Hub here on Pub Sports Radio. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Don't you dare leave the channel. We got Net Profit, college basketball show, Connor Maxwell Smart coming up at the top of the hour. We got NFL live stream tonight on Pub Sports Radio. Tons of stuff on the way. We've got lots going on here at Pub Sports Radio, so make sure you check it all out each and every day. For Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, Billy Briz, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Let's cash some tickets. Let's get these guys. Let's win some money. Football, basketball, hockey, you name it. Have a great Thursday night. We'll see you again tomorrow on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man, you know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have not, share the video if you can. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.